The first thing we're going to do today is make sure all of our pencil is outlined with Sharpie. I still have one extra number that I added to this corner because I felt like this corner was a little bit empty. When you make a good design, you want to make sure that no places look too empty or too crowded. You sort of just have to use your own judgment to make sure that your design is laid out in a way that you like. Just like this. Now the last step after you're done with all of your Sharpie is you need to take a big eraser and erase any extra pencil lines that might be left over. Sometimes you might want to do this on the floor if you have a lot to erase and your table is shaking a lot. Next, we're going to start using colored pencil to color in some of the parts of our design. Now, when you get your colored pencil box, don't shake it. Also, try really hard today not to drop your colored pencils on the floor, because every time you drop a pencil, the lead inside of it will break. So that means that when you sharpen it, the pencil lead will just keep falling out and falling out. So be really, really careful today with our colored pencils. Now, you can use any colors that you like. There's not really any rules about colors, but I am looking for neatness and value. We're going to talk about both of those things right now. So first, we're going to look at our design, and it is now divided into sort of some different triangle shapes from the straight lines that we created earlier. You're just going to pick any one of those triangle shapes that you like to start. I think that I'm going to start with this one right here. So when it comes to neatness, you're going to make sure, let's zoom in here a little bit, that you are using your colored pencils in a way that's not scribbling. So right now, I'm trying really hard to stay inside the lines and also create just kind of a smooth, even surface of coloring. I try to color all the same direction. So that the coloring looks very, very smooth. Just like that. Now, one of the little tricks about this project, the only part of it that's going to have color is going to be inside the numbers. The background is going to be colored actually with just a regular pencil. So I'm going to do something a little fancy here. I'm going to kind of divide this into some different lines. And then I'm going to neatly color. In sort of like a pattern. I'm going to do one dark stripe and one light stripe. And then a dark stripe. Still coloring neatly. I don't want it to look scribbly. I'm staying inside the lines. I chose to do the background kind of a striped pattern because I think it's more interesting. You can add as many patterns as you want to this project. You could use lines or shapes. You could create different textures with your pencils. Those choices are going to be up to you, because the more patterns and textures that you add, the more interesting your project is going to be, and the more I can see your skill level with these different supplies. Okay, so now that we've talked about neatness, let's talk a little bit about value. Value is basically the difference between lights and darks in your artwork. So I've already done a little bit of value right here actually by doing the dark coloring and the light coloring. That's some value examples right there. But I kind of like to get a little fancier with value in some places. And I'm on this round area here, I'm going to show you a little bit of how you can use value in kind of a fancier way by doing a gradation. A gradation means that you start out coloring dark, and then you gradually fade your pencil until it gets lighter. Value gradations can really add a lot of three-dimensional aspects to your art. Okay, I have just one little area left in this triangle to color, but first I need to sharpen my colored pencil. So these pencil sharpeners, when you use them, you're going to have to check to make sure that they're not clogged up. If they have any shavings inside of them, you need to dump it in the trash. And then you have to check to make sure that there's no pencil lead stuck in the sharpener. Sometimes you can use a sharpened pencil to poke it out if there is. Now, only once it's clear, you can put your pencil in really straight and twist it. If it's not straight, you're not going to get a nice sharp pencil. It's going to get lopsided. Okay, so for this last part, I'm going to do another little trick with value. I'm going to start out coloring lightly. And I'm being careful with my hand when I lay it down on my other pencil that I don't smear it. Because all this pencil lead really likes to get all over your hands if you're not careful. And now I'm going to do a darker zigzag design with the same color. Just pushing harder so that it shows up. When you're done with one triangle, you can start working on another.